Hey, this is Heidi Dawson. If you love all things health and wellness and style of any kind, hang out here with me each week. I'm obsessed with never-ending improvement, and it's all in an effort to help each one of us live a wildly successful lifestyle. Subscribe today so you don't miss a thing. Hi, guys. Welcome to episode 140 of the Wildly Successful Lifestyle Podcast. So, my husband surprised me with a trip to Chattanooga this last week. Now, I had never been. It's in Tennessee, and I've lived in Tennessee almost my entire life. But anyway, it was so fun and a really good example of there being really cool things to do without getting on an airplane, probably in your own state or maybe even in your own city. Anyway, we did lots of fun new things. I rode a Segway for the first time, which was kind of uncomfortable at first, but then it was really fun once you got the hang of it, which didn't take long. Now, the reason why I'm telling you all this is we went to a place called Ruby Falls. Now, Ruby Falls is the tallest underground waterfall that can be visited in America by people. So the reason that I was able to ride an elevator down 250 feet into a mountain and then walk mostly upright in caverns on down to 1,100 feet is because of a chemist named Leo Lambert. Now, Leo put aside his comfort and crawled on his belly for 17 hours, squeezing himself through an 18-inch space, crawling through a dark cave on his belly in his effort to allow the beauty of the mountain to be seen by everyone. Now, had he stopped when it got hard or turned around in fear when he thought about what could happen to him, we may not ever know the beauty that is Ruby Falls. So my question to you is this. Do you have a passion or a calling that you're putting off? Maybe because you're afraid or you're scared of what people will think? And look, not everyone's calling is going to end up in a massive underground waterfall. I don't know about you, but that would not have been something I could have done. Not because I'm a scaredy cat, but because it's not my calling. Okay, I might have been a little scared in that cave, but anyway, we each have our own calling, and it's up to us and only us to figure out what that is. And like Brooke Castillo always says, stop saying you don't know how, or you don't know what to do next, or you don't know. We always spend so much time saying, I don't know. I don't know how to do this. Do you think Leo knew what his next step was when he first crawled into that new cave? Nope. And most people, when they do big things, they don't know how either. That's why it's called creating. Fred Smith, the CEO of FedEx, he proposed a paper at Yale on the economics of overnight high priority shipping. He got a C for his work. Now, the company that he eventually created from that paper is now an $80 billion company. Now, he kept going even though people said it wouldn't work. Your job is to create a life that inspires you, to create a life that makes you feel alive and excited to get out of bed. And it may not be that far off from where you are right now, but only you know and only you can do it. And you want more, I think you do anyway, because I bet you're like me, and growth and following your calling is really important. Now, a lot of times we get stuck in a loop of thoughts where our brain convinces us not to follow our calling because, well, our brain is literally designed to keep us safe. Had Leo listened to his brain, or the people around him, he probably wouldn't have continued for 17 hours crawling in absolute darkness with only a lantern for light. How different would the world be if we didn't have FedEx? I mean, those guys didn't quit when things got hard, and it got really hard. Easy things are not generally the things that break molds. Watching TV, that's easy. Eating whatever you want, that's easy. Great things don't usually happen from easy. And yeah, it's hard. It's hard to eat healthy. It's hard to put a plan together to eat healthy, especially if you've had years of training your taste buds to crave sugar and sodium. And take it from me, there's still going to be times when you eat peanut butter chocolate fudge like I did yesterday. But I know it's not going to derail my good habits because it was one time. Now, I'm not beating myself up for it, but my body did let me know it didn't love it. Anyway, it's also hard to start a workout plan, but once you get a habit going, you'll crave it. And that's super beneficial long term. Now, you may have found that you've been trying and failing, and whether it's a diet or a workout plan, that's okay. You're in the game. You just haven't found what works for you yet. I tried every diet in the book when I was younger, but they never worked. I didn't just say, well, I'm just destined to be bigger, because I wasn't happy that way. I found something, though, that worked for me eventually, which was kind of identifying myself with living a healthy lifestyle. I just called it a lifestyle, not following a diet. So if that's your calling, just keep going. Just keep trying different things. Now, this last one, it's new. It's a big one, and I know I talk about it a lot, but it's something that I struggled with, and I know how much better I feel when I have it under control. And I think most of us are realizing we have to manage it. It's really hard to quiet the noise coming at us from social media and 24-hour news, because that's become the norm. In fact, it's kind of like alcohol now. If you don't follow social media or you don't watch the news, people are kind of like, what? Why not? What's wrong with you? I mean, these things, they're not all bad. I mean, we all do it sometimes, social media and the news, but we have to make sure that we're creating more than we're consuming. And creating could mean working out where you're creating a better body. It could mean having coffee with a friend you haven't seen where you're creating better relationships. It could mean taking a class where you're creating a new certification so that you can apply that for a promotion. Or maybe you're just trying to expand your mind. Filling our heads with noise isn't going to make us better. It's really just a distraction from a real life of meaning. So my challenge to you this week is, if you have a calling, say to write a book. Sit down tonight and write down your outline. Chapter 1, intro. Chapter 2, whatever you think that may be. And it may not even end up being in that order, but getting your outline down on paper will have your mind spinning with ideas. If your calling is to go back to school or get a certification in a specialized area, there are so many opportunities to do that, online especially now. Most of you know I'm an interior designer by trade, but I love the mindset side of design, so I'm adding to my talent stack by getting a feng shui certification. I did a little research online, and now I'm in the middle of my course, which I'm loving, by the way. If your calling is to start your own business, but you keep telling yourself you don't know how, flip that around and tell yourself, I don't know how I can't start. And then head over to Google and get to work on finding out your first step. Just the first step. Whatever your calling is, just take that first step. You won't regret it. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you in a few days. Don't forget to subscribe and share with your friends, because we're just going to keep going bigger and better places together, and I love that about us. Talk to you in a few days.